What's going on, everybody? Blazing here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today we're going to find out if we actually did the fusion for a reason or was it just complete shit. But we are going to be working with Ishiyama The Immovable. Now, we're not using any books. We're not using any blessings. The blessing was stuck behind a paywall, so screw that. And as for the books, I want to see 99.9% of you guys out there, if you're going to use them, you're just going to put some masteries on them and just try to do the best you can, right? He's not going to be your main arena nuker. So I want to see what he's actually going to do for an account out there. Not for my account, but what is it going to do for your account, right? That said, if you enjoy the content, make sure you smash that like button down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because it really helps me out trying to get the tier 3 content creator. That way I can do more realistic showcases of some of these champions or what they're going to benefit for your account as opposed to what a Kraken account or what the max account is going to do. That said, let's go ahead. Let's do a showcase. Let me show you what I have him with for Arena. For Hydra, we're pretty much going to work with the same build almost everywhere else. And the stats, I think, are pretty realistic, but you guys will have to let me know. All right, so Ishiyama The Immovable. So we have him built with a lethal and stone skin. Now, I did give him the 2 best sets for him, but I think the build itself is more achievable for a lot of the player base out there. So we have him built with 84k HP, 259 speed, 107 crit rate, and 263 crit damage. I think these stats are going to reflect to a lot more of what you guys have out there as opposed to what I can do on my account. But again, let me know in the comments down below. Do you think, am I right? Am I wrong? Do you want to see more showcases with these types of numbers? Or do you want to see what a full out max can do? We're not working with any relics whatsoever. Booking situation, as you can see, again, no books, no nothing. And then as for masteries, we came down, we took Deadly Precision, we took Keen Strike, we took Shield Breaker because he does not ignore shields. We did take Whirlwind of Death. We took Ruthless Ambush along with Cycle of Violence. We did take Kill Streak and Helm Smasher. On the support tree, we came down and we took Steadfast, trying to give him some little more HP. We did go ahead and take Exalted in Death. We took Arcane Celerity. Now, whether we want to or not, he is going to be placing some debuffs, so we might as well take advantage of this. Chances are we'll probably get more of the debuffs up as opposed to getting that block damage up a lot more often. So we take a little advantage of that, right? We did take Lore of Steel and we did take Cycle of Magic. Now, depending on the blessing that you have, it could be, you know, Lightning Cage could be really worth it for him. Obviously, if you have a higher tier blessing, like if you get a 6-star blessing, you're going to want to go Crushing Rend. And then Polymorph as always, right? So let's go ahead. Let's take a look and see what he's going to do for us in the arena. Okay, so we're going to use him in Classic Arena. We're currently in Gold 5. We'll bring Fabian, who was a previous fusion. We'll bring Arbiter, Ishiyama, and Death Knight. And we're going to go up a pretty heavy pay-to-win team here, right? We got Taurus Marichka, Xena, and we got Mithrala. So let's take a peek here and let's see what happens. All right, we'll go ahead with Turn Meter Boost. We will go ahead and lock out. Let's go A1 off of Xena. Okay, so no decreased defense, no nothing, pure damage boost with the A2 here, right? So attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a fear, decreased crit damage, decreased crit rate on all enemies for 2 turns. They're not going to be resisted. Well, for now, they're probably going to be resisted, but here we go. Okay, so nothing big, right? Looking at the HP levels here, we brought Marichka down to 60% HP, Mithrala to 50, Taurus, we didn't even really do anything. And then as for Xena, I want to say we knocked down about 50 because she was already down about a quarter. So she was down about 75%. So let's see. Let's come back out actually, because I want to do a fair damage comparison on the same team, right? And I know this is gonna show this guy me going after him like 3 or 4 times, but it is what it is. All right, Let's back it out a little bit. Let's slow it down. Turn meter boost, just so I can get better views on what kind of damage he's done. Okay, so Fabian here did 12k on Xena, right? All right, let's see here. So A3, right, will attack one enemy, will ignore 25% of the target's defense, will ignore 50% of the target's defense instead if the target is under 2 or more debuffs. So we're not working with any debuffs here. If it kills the enemy, it's going to give us a block damage. So let's see what this is going to do against the Marichka. A3, 25k, basically brought her down to 50%. Is your Marichka built with 50k HP? I hope not. Okay, let's keep going. Go ahead, turn meter boost. Let that Mithrala go. Okay. Give ourselves some HP. Okay, so we got some debuffs out now. Let's see. 2 debuffs, 1 debuff now. Okay. A1, let's go against, or let's just kind of nuke them out. 40k. Again, nothing crazy. The damage isn't really there. We're boosting this poor guy over here. Come on. All right. Let's try it one more time now, and let's see what happens when we use the A1. Turn meter boost. Go ahead and lock out. Yes, yes. Okay. All right, so Marichka doesn't have any buffs. Let's go A1. Here we go. 10 and 11k. I mean, the first question is, why is this guy's Marichka only got 50k HP? But overall, I'm not, arena-wise, he's not a real big nuker, right? Again, we're not working with any buffs. I guess let's take this out and let's see if we can bring in a Lydia and see how much more damage he would do for us in arena, right? Let's go Lydia. Where's my girl Lydia? Actually, yeah, Lydia, right? I want Lydia. Where's Lydia? Jeez, I should have been prepared for this, guys. Lydia, spell. Hopefully she's got some gear, right? Yes. Okay. I hope. Okay. Let's go back in. Turn meter boost. She might cut in on us now. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. So Taurus Marichka have 2 debuffs. So theoretically, this A2 should hit a lot harder, and we should be able to land the decreased crit damage and decreased crit rate. So here we go. 22, 26. No. No, not a fan of it. Not a fan of it at all whatsoever, right? Let's go back in and let's see now with the debuffs, what's he going to do here? Turn meter boost, decrease defense and weaken. And again, that was with decreased defense and weaken, both honor. All right, so A3, here we go. 126k, we got the block damage. And that was with the decreased defense and weaken, right? So I'm arena-wise, I'm saying no thank you. I'm not going to put some books into you, but let's see where maybe in some PvE content he's going to do a little bit better. But I think right now he doesn't really give us anything crazy to really say that I would want to invest in him, right? There's other HP nukers like Eric's that are 10 times better than what he currently brings. Okay, so we are in Doom Tower store stage 79. pretty tanky, right? It's about the highest we got right now anyways, because that's where we're currently landing in this rotation. All right, so we got decreased defense and weekend out on everybody. A1 on Usuga, which should be pretty tanky. Here we go. 157k. Single target, though. Single target. All right. Let's come back in. Replay. Increase attack. Decrease defense and weekend. A2 attacks all enemies. Let's see. What do we got with AoE? 2919. Wow, really weak. Oh, really weak. I don't know, guys. Like, could the books give him that much more damage? I don't think so. I don't, like, if he's not one-shotting stage 79, come on. And we put him in the lead too, so he gets more HP from there. And again, I think, you know, the build is a little more realistic to what a lot of you out there are going to have. So that's, you know, that definitely will be a factor in it. But again, it's not that crazy. I think like a Magnar would hit better, right? Magnar with a double hitter on the A2 would probably hit for a lot harder. All right, so let's see. The A1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit transfers a random debuff. If this champion's under any debuff, blah, blah, blah. Not really going to work out. Here we go. Boom. 17, 16. Weak sauce. Weak sauce, weak sauce, weak sauce. I don't think he's... Yeah, I think so far in both Doom Tower PvE content and then Arena PvP content, he's still just a Vault Guardian, right? All right, let's maybe see, could he do something for us in Hydra? Let's go. Okay. A2, which is AoE. Attacks everywhere. We got 140,000 damage here. Wow. 325k or 335k, I think, right? Yeah. No, not even, actually, because we had 140,000 damage from Lydia, right? Let's make sure. Let's just make sure again. Okay, so increased turn meter. And Lydia, by the way, guys, also has a feral set on him, on her, which is going to increase the amount of damage he does, right? So 160k, A2, 430. Ugh. So we did what? 260, 270k, right? No, not for an A2. We got epic champions. We got husks out there that are going to hit harder than him. Let's go ahead and see here. Again, decrease defense. All right, so let's go against a neutral affinity head, or, well, we can't go against this one because we don't have hex. Let's go against, we'll go against a positive affinity head. So here we go. A3 on force head, 167k. As his big money nuke, I don't really see it happening. 163k isn't really going to get anybody out of a Devour, right? Even if his HP was to be boosted up to the 100k, I don't foresee him doing that much more damage. Okay, let's try out the A1 again here. And 40k. For an A1, that I could see is decent here, but again, we've got decreased defense and weaken out, so I think I would like to see a lot more coming out of him before I put my investment of books in a soulstone form. Let's check out the reviews that the player base has given him and what they think. Now, for arena offense, people gave him a 4.2. I think that is a little too nice. I would go with a 3, to be quite honest. I wasn't really too impressed. Unless you're bringing those debuffs to give him that damage boost, it's not going to happen. He's not going to be one-shotting anybody. And again, this is just pure based on what 90% of you guys, 99% of you guys out there are going to be doing. Just buying the masteries because legendary books are not worth it. So offense arena wise, I don't think it's going to be good. So he gets a 3 from me. Faction Wars. Faction Wars being an HP based champion, being able to do some damage out there, and you're probably going to bring some decreased defense at weekend. It's PvE content. A 4.3 I think is too nice. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the 3. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the 3 on this one. Because I'm sure that you have other champions, such like a ninja, that would be way better for you, right? Campaign farmer, I don't think he's going to be crazy, right? He's only got 1 AoE, some multi double hitters on the A1. So for this, Fellhound would be a 5, honestly, but I'll give him a 4. I'll be nice on that one because I do think that he can actually probably do a little bit for you on the Nightmare campaign. Arena defense, I'm going to go with 3 here again. I don't think he's going to be a solid arena defense champion. There's nothing in his kit that says I'm going to be able to prolong this fight for you and give my defense the edge. So I think a 3 is solid. Minotaur's Labyrinth, if he can clear it in a minute, which I do think he can, he'll be about average. So as a farmer there, I'll give him a 3. Hydra, I was not too impressed with the damage. I think there, he's going to be okay surviving for long-term fights because of the passive. But I think for him here, it's a little tough, but I feel like we have other nukers, again, epic nukers that are going to be better. So for Hydra, I'm going to be harsh and I'm going to give him a 2. I know a lot of people are not going to like that. Dragon's Lair, he's not going to do anything for you. He's not going to be able to smack. He's not going to be able to one-shot any of the waves, right? I mean, we saw in Doom Tower where the waves have a little bit of a thicker line of HP. He wasn't really one-shotting. So here, again, I'm going to give him a 2 because you're not going to bring him in over, I don't know, a seer or something, right? He's not going to do anything on the boss for you. Brings you absolutely nothing. Void Keep. He'll get a 3 HP. Be able to, if you build him decently, he could farm it out. But if you have Marius is going to do it for you anyways, right? Ice Golem, I'm going to go with a 1 because he's not going to do anything. Even though he's HP based, he's not going to help you take down the boss. You need HP burns, and Artak is just so much better. I know I'm being really, really harsh with this, guys, but I feel like if I'm not representing this situation properly, I could mislead a lot of you into building him and putting your resources in, right? Now, again, when I first take a look, I thought, well, maybe this could work. But again, I always do want to give a caveat of it. We don't know until we play test them, right? Friday Knight's Castle, he's not going to do anything. He's got a double hitter on the A1. So if you're in normal mode, that could help you out. If you're on hard mode, he's definitely not going to help you out. So we'll give him a 2 here, right? Because as you move into the end game, you really don't, you need triple hitters, you need freeze to be able to deal with hard mode Fire Knight. Demon Lord. Now with Demon Lord, if you're going to use him as your single target nuker, he doesn't bring decreased defense. He doesn't bring weaken. So if you're bringing that in with like a Demytha comp and you're trying to put him in there, it could work. For this, I'll give a 3, just because he could, with a Demytha composition, help you get to that 1 key, right? Phantom Shogun, gated behind a blessing, but you're not really concerned there on HP nukers, right? I mean, you've got champions like what's her name? The epic champion there that Saphira loves so much, Whisper, that can pretty much do better. So for this, we'll give it 3. Chimera, based on what I saw with Hydra, he gets the same rating here. We're going to give him a 2. And I know I said that he was going to be decent there. But just again, my rating overall is based on the showcase we did here. I didn't watch anybody else's showcase, and on stats that I think most of you out there are going to be able to use. Force Keep, again, I think a 3 is good there. Spider, the AoE on his A2, I don't think is going to be crazy. He's not going to one-shot a lot of the spiderlings. He will be able to take a hit. I think a 3 here is fair. Iron Twins, again, the plus side is he doesn't bring a lot of debuffs or a lot of buffs. The debuffs that he does bring are going to be beneficial. You will be able to land him on every so often. But is he going to be better than a Geomancer? No. So a 3 here is fair, I think. Sand Devils, he gets a 1. I would never bring him in. Magic Keep, he is negative affinity, so he will get nuked pretty hard. 2 would be fair here. Spirit Keep, he will be neutral affinity, but he doesn't help you with cleansing any of the debuffs that she gives you, and he doesn't strip any of the buffs, right? So just as a pure nuker, I'll give him a 3 there. I think my overall rating might have been a little harsh, but I think you guys would agree with me, and I hope so. Put it in the comments below and let me know. Looks like most people are using him for arena offense, and only being 101 reviews with mine being the 101st one, I think that speaks for itself. Yes, we'll go ahead and submit those. As for gear sets, I don't suggest following anything that Plarium puts here. That said, I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Do you think I did a fair showcase on Ishiyama The Immovable based on what your accounts and what most of the accounts out there are going to do? Not based off of my account. My account, I could definitely get him up to 320, 330 crit damage, 300 speed, 120k HP. But is that realistic for everybody else out there? Are you in the same position that I am to be able to put him in that kind of stuff? Because that's ideally what we're looking for. Those are the showcases I feel that you're going to benefit the most off of, and that is going to be a little more realistic. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Was this a good showcase for him or not? Join us every Sunday, 2 p.m. EST for the Knights of Teleria podcast, where we dive into the world of Raid Shadow Legends, discussing everything from free-to-play strategies to pay-to-win insight, and covering the journey from early to mid-game. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned player, we have something for everyone. Don't miss out on the Knights of Teleria podcast, the only podcast for Raid Shadow Legends. As always, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. I'll catch you guys next time.